Hello, my name's Chris, this is Blue Kraken Gaming, and welcome back to Satisfactory, where if you are enjoying the series, I would ask that you please consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscription. Any will help the channel grow and they help get out in front of other people, so thank you very much to those of you that do that. Now, in our last episode, we completed the first leg of our heavy modular frame factory, in that we are now making regular modular frames. So, the plan for today is to carry on with the next parts of that, and I've got the calculator build that I've got up on my other screen so I can see what I'm up to. And the first thing we need to do is deal with all of this down here. So we need to deal with this iron, we need to deal with the coal that is somewhere over there. I thought we brought it over. Oh no, yeah, we just left it on the edge there. Okay, well, let's first off work out where we're going to bring it in. So, we need 12 foundries. Now, I don't think I've got any foundry blueprints. I don't think. No, foundation, steel. Oh, no, I have got a steel manifold. No, that's not what I thought it was doing. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's definitely that one. Okay, so I don't have any with is it smelters? No, it's not smelters I need, and that needs aluminium. Okay, so that means we're going to be doing this the long way around with foundries. So I think the way I'm planning on doing this is we're just going to have the good old 2 rows of 6. Yes, thank you, Ada. So 3, 4, 5, and we need to extend this out a little bit more, but that's fine. Oh, first load, I don't have Zoop turned on. And then we need to get rid of these trees. Yeah, continue taking them down in groups. May as well get these while we're stood here. So we can fill in that gap. Okay, that was 5, and then you'll be 6. And then, I mean, we may as well mirror it the other way. Alright, just do that, give us a bit more room. Cool. 2, 3, 4... W says we're going to need to split these. Okay, so just going to have a quick look at the calculator on the split. So we need... Love how it pauses the sound there. So we need 360 in one direction and 162 in the other. How many are you going to put out if I tell you to make a steel... Hang on, what the heck was that? Oh, okay. Interesting. So that's 24 in to get 9 out. What's the usual rate on steel beams? 4 to 1. So that's a reduction of 25, so 24... Well, 24 divided by 4 would be 6. So that is slightly more to do it that way. That still feels awkward to do with getting the concrete in here as well. Would be more efficient, but that means we then need to get concrete in, which we might have some spare. Might be worth looking at, but it does then change all of the numbers on what I've been doing. So let's get our splitters set up. Okay. We can do our usual like this. Okay. Cool, that's that. And then we need our stackable pole in front. Love how they can zoop now. And then you're going to come all the way to out here. Let's get us our best belt. Right, and then you can run all the way along. No, you can't. You're not quite long enough. Fine, that just means we're just going to have to pop one. Yeah, I mean, probably like there. Right, okay. Because then that's hopefully going to avoid any clipping issues having it in the middle of where we've got two of the smelters set up. Cool. And then we need to put our splitters on the top. Why are you not locking in? I really wish I knew why it didn't lock sometimes. Like, it gives you the guidelines and you hold control, but it doesn't then lock. Come on. There we go. There's our guidelines. And our last one will go there. Okay. Awesome. Now, the plan I've got for this, where it comes to powering them, so I want to grab that and run that all the way along. And then the plan will be to try and hook them up like that. There we go. And then we can hop onto the next one. And grab you. And then just run it along like this. Right, okay. And I'm really sitting here going, I wish I had a blueprint for this. But alas, not. And to be fair, this would be too big for a blueprint to have this kind of setup. Though, arguably, where we can now have joined up blueprints, I don't know, because the smelter itself would take up most of the blueprint. I don't know that I'd get much of an array in. That is the trade-off with it. Right, so that's now got all of its power there. We can run you to here. And then if we grab that wall outlet, put that there. And then when we grab the wire, we can put that like that. Nice. Okay, so that's now all powered. Right, and how much are you going to be outputting? You're going to be outputting 45. So if we need 360 by 45, that means we need 8 of these, and they're in a row of 6. That's fine. That just means we're going to need to hook 2 of them on. That's okay. So, if we grab Mark IV lift, like that arguably is too tall. What if we just... Can we bring you straight up here? Yes, but you're going to look a little funky. Okay. And if we hook you in to be straight... Put you there. And you're going straight in there. Feed all these guys through. And then we just need Mark 1s, because you only need, 45 a minute. That's fine. Oh, and you need to not be straight. And then we can feed all of these down as well. Get all of that set up so that when we bring the coal in, we're all ready as well. And then we can just play with the outputs in a bit. You're going in there, and voila. Cool. Okay. So that's all that done. Why is that on such a weird kink? No, I don't like that. Right. Yeah, why is that doing that? Okay. Is it because you weren't on the grid to start with? That could be it. Yeah, that looks better. Small things, eh? Set you off. Right, okay. Then we're going to need one of these, like, here. Yeah, like that. For the purposes of right now, we're also going to want probably a regular wall here. Then one with a hole there. How's that going to look? Yeah, that looks okay. Right, and then you can run straight into there. Right, so now we need to bring the coal over from over here that we've been pulling. Now you don't need to be... Curve looks kind of nice actually. I don't mind it being all curvy while we're out and about in the world. Yeah, that curve looks kind of nice. I like that. Cool, so that's going to feed up in nice there, and then when we get inside it moves into being straight and nice and rigid. Cool, okay, so now we've got that being produced, which is good. So, you guys are going to start filling up, which is what we want. There we go. Right, we then need our mergers. Now, a question I've got for you guys is, do you guys want me to post somewhere the basically the recipe setup that I'm following from Satisfactory Calculator so you guys can see what I'm working with? Unfortunately, me being me, I don't have a like a floor plan, as it were, because you know me, when do I ever plan that far ahead? I don't have a floor plan. Because I just go, right, what needs building next? Where does it go? Okay. So this is looking all good. We can actually cut that and that. Save that little bit of extra space there. And then... Right, one of these needs to be set to 60%, so I'm going to make it this first one over here. 60. So you're now slightly underclocked, that's fine. I'm going to grab these two at the end here. Although actually I don't need to do it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a lift and we're going to go high enough to hopefully come over the top. And then we're just going to connect those like that. Right, what if we don't do it as a curve? I don't think it's straight. Yeah, I think maybe a curve. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that, and then we'll feed that in over there. So we need this to get to the same height, which will be that one. We need this to get to the same height. Cool. So then there's our set of 8 that we are going to need to turn into steel beams. That's fine. Whereas these ones are going to be going into steel pipes. Okay. So, let's bring a merger out for you guys. And I just want to make sure I'm going to clear those lifts. Yeah, there should be fine. Cool. And you actually need to be a merger because I got that wrong. Fine, and then we can fill you guys in. Cool, okay. So now we need constructors. Now we need a chunk of constructors to make the next set. Okay. That's fine. We're just gonna claw this all off. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that I'm not so keen on, having that smoke coming through the floor. Don't know we're going to be able to fix that, though. Unless we go up another level. But then that level is... Oh no, that is a construction level. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I think we'll do that then. Just to avoid having smoke coming through. So let's just throw all these out. Okay, right. And then I'm out of... What am I out of? Concrete. Okay, that's fine. We can grab more concrete from elsewhere. So, in fact, we're going to need to do that now because we're going to want it for... power poles. So we can come here, grab some of the concrete that's been working its way up in the background. Right, let's head up here. And from here, this time I think we can use this. So that is a set of 8. We don't need 8, we actually only need 6. But it will cover off everything we need. Now, oh, I did this way where it kind of backfills and comes back to the beginning, didn't I? Yeah, that should be alright, because I think we're going to have to go up again, so that's fine. So we can put one of them there. And then we need another one. In fact, if we grab that here and we do it to the side like this. There we go. How's that going to fit? Yeah, and then that gives us more to go that way round. Okay. Cool. We're going to do it that way. We're just going to shuffle it over. And I don't want it to default, but I do want it to kind of be lined up with that one, even though I don't want it actually touching that one. Right. Okay, so the front needs to go back a bit. Well, it needs to go back a fair amount. Okay, yeah, that's going to give us room to work with. Cool. But then we can take away one of these because we don't need 8. We only needed 6. So we can do that to save our... or reclaim some resources. Right. Okay, so that's that one. This one we only need 5.4. Okay, so we'll still leave 6. Okay. Take that down to reclaim the resources. Oh, that one. Okay. So you guys... oh, that means the others are already set up. Right, you guys are making pipes. What the heck are iron pipes? Wow, 100 iron ingots a minute. Oh, blimey. Okay. That is for when you have tons of iron and no coal. Which, you know, arguably we could have had here, but we needed to get the steel going at some point anyway. Right. And then one of them needs to be set to 40%. Okay. Awesome. So then that should be everything we need on that front. So we can put in a lift header there. Put in a lift header here. Right, and we drop down. Okay, so then we'll need another one of these. And you need to effectively be there. Right, and then we'll do come from here. Cool. That's that lined up. And this one is smack bang in the middle of this. Yep, so you should go there. Cool, and then we can go down again. Okay. That's going to be interesting. And then... if we bring you down here and face you out like that. Set you to straight. Yep. That'll do nicely. And then you... we can bring up to the ceiling. Put you like that. And again... ooh, straight doesn't look good there. Yeah, you can go default. Right, okay. So that should then be... right. Or for a start, that's the wrong speed. Right, that should then be feeding everything up. Okay, cool. Right, and then you guys just need power. It should be easy. So we'll bring you here. And then we'll hook that into your power pole array as well. And then that one, we can hook in there. There we go. So you guys are now making steel beams. Okay, excellent. So, let's just have a quick look at my next bit. So, the steel pipes go straight in, which is great. So now we need to bring the concrete over. Because now we need to take these encased bits, or these steel beams, and we need to put them into... we need to get some concrete for that. Okay. That's fine. So that's going to be our next bit. What is our biggest belt? 480 is our fastest belt at the moment. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So... that means we will want to... we're going to need another floor. So let's bring that logistics floor out and over here. To there. Oh. Because we're going to want this. Okay. Like at some point I'm going to have to fill this all in and make it look sensible, but then we're going to bring this over here. Because we need 5 assemblers to handle the steel beams and the concrete. So let's start laying those down now. Okay, now I'm actually... can I make... I just need a couple of frames. Okay. Let's do that while we're over here. If we grab just a couple of frames... and then let's just make a new quick blueprint, because we can attach them together now, can't we? So, if we go to a blueprint designer... lovely. And we go assembler, and let's have a look. We want a splitter there. It's going to be a bit too close, isn't it? Pop the splitter there. And then if we have you going off like that, trying to do it as small as possible. You know, why not? Let's just belt and braces it just in case anything needs to be fed that fast. And then we can go stackable conveyor pole here. And here. We then grab that. And we hook those like that. Right, see, that locked in that time. I have no idea why. No, I don't want the designer. I want the belt. Right. And then this would be an assembler. Okay, so let's have a look. So, assembler mani. Fold. Oh, clonk. Completely lifted my arm then and smacked myself in the face with my microphone. Oh, no, that's not what I needed to do. Oh. Right, okay, I'm going to quickly rebuild that and then we'll test how it works. I will bring you guys back in a moment. Okay, so I've done it. I've got it resaved. So now we can clear it. Grab all of our stuff back out of here. Take that down. So the hope would be I can then come in here. Assembler manifold. Let's set it to auto connect. And remember to do the bit on the front as well. So if we have that there. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like it'll be the right kind of place. Right. And then... okay, that looks promising, but it's being really awkward to try and line up. Okay. No, that was where I wanted it. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It shifts slightly. I forget you got to double click, haven't you? Right. Shuffle you in a bit. In fact, being that close shouldn't be a problem. So, let's just take these down. Three, 4, and 5. Okay. Alright, that was much easier. I will grant that. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we can put you there. Cool. Power lines in. And come on. There we go. And then we can hook you into... Yeah, that Mark II one there. That'll do lovely. Just need to tell you what you're making, which is going to be encased industrial beams. Okay, so that linkable blueprint does actually make things much better. Okay, that's cool. So that's now all flowing, which is great. And then we just need to plumb that in. But I'm going to do that at the beginning of next episode. So I'm going to wrap up here and say, as usual, likes, comments, subscriptions. They will help the channel grow. They help get it out in front of other people. So thank you very much to those of you that do that. Thank you very much to my YouTube channel members. Your support is very much appreciated. And please don't forget that as a supporter, you do gain access to the save files for any of the open world games I'm currently playing. Along with any of the relevant blueprints, including the new one today. They're all part of the save file. So you get to get hold of those instead of, well, yeah, that was one of your perks. And more importantly for you guys, you gain early access to the videos, so you get to see what's going on before anybody else does. But other than that, thank you all very much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you all next time.